And in an historic comeback, Donald Trump was elected the 47th president of the United States. His win will no doubt have an impact on Israel's security, the ongoing war, and the region at large. Joining us now to discuss what this means for Israel is Ari Harrow, former chief of staff to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Ari, thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Good to see you.
So Prime Minister Netanyahu was one of the first, if not the first, leaders to congratulate Trump in a heartfelt message, which could also be seen as a jab at President Biden. The two had a great relationship during his first administration. Is this the outcome Netanyahu was hoping for?
I think that we can judge President Trump on the first 4 years that he spent as president and the steps that he supported and the steps that he took to strengthen Israel, to strengthen Israel's security and to bring peace to the region are unprecedented. Having moved the embassy to Jerusalem, recognizing Israel's sovereignty in the Golan Heights, bringing Israel into the Abraham Accords and peace in the region are really monumental events that took place. And I think that the Prime Minister, the government, and all the citizens of Israel hope that we have 4 years that resemble that type of unbending support.
And before we talk about what a second Trump administration would look like, I do want to take a moment to reflect on the outcome of the election because, you know, according to polls, Trump received the highest percentage of Jewish support for a Republican in years. And so I want to ask what you make of this sort of historic shift that we've seen.
I think that the last 4 years for Jews in the United States have been difficult years. It started prior to the October 7th tragedy in Israel and the war that followed, with anti-Semitism rising steadily, unfortunately, year after year, and then really exploded after October 7th. We saw incidents, we saw the campus protests, we saw really scenes that reminded Americans of history lessons they did not want to be reminded of. So I think that there's no question that that had its effect on the Jewish population, shifting to a presidency that they hoped would bring about a change on that front. Mm-hmm.
And now, you know, regardless of the outcome, there are still a few months until Trump officially takes office. You know, when President Obama left the Oval Office, one of his last acts was to essentially, as some saw it, stab Israel in the back by not vetoing an anti-Israel resolution at the UN. So what can we expect to see now from the Biden-Harris administration during this transition period? You know, they've already threatened Israel with withholding arms. I mean, what should we expect now?
I don't expect pettiness from President Biden and this administration. President Biden truly is a Zionist and a supporter of the state of Israel. I think that he would definitely want to leave the global stage knowing that Israel is safe and secure. And I hope and pray that over these next couple months, he continues to support Israel in its right to defend itself and to rid this region and the world of the type of terror that we've faced since October 7th.
Mm-hmm. And what can we expect from a second Trump administration? Will it likely be as supportive of Israel as the first?
I think really the only measuring stick that we have is his first term. And there's no question that the first term was very, very positive. We just discussed that. He still has a lot of good people around him, like Ambassador David Friedman, Mike Pompeo, people who played central roles in the policies towards Israel and the Middle East. And I hope and pray and believe that we will continue to see such support and strength.
Mm-hmm. And what do you see as some of the major issues that will dominate the agenda with regards to Israel and the U.S. relationship in the first months of the Trump administration?
There's no question that what we have been dealing with here in our region affects mostly us, the state of Israel, but there is a broader concern that the Trump administration is going to have to weigh in on. You're talking about an Israel-Iran war, which is no longer just a hypothetical. And the fact that we have sustained two of the largest missile attacks in the history of the world over the last few months, and the fact that we have taken significant action against Iran. Thank God we've done a very significant job in minimizing the capabilities of Hezbollah in the north and causing severe damage there, taking away one of Iran's proxies. We took away another proxy with Hamas down south. And ultimately, the question is going to be, what do we do to defang Iran and to cut off the head of the snake? How active is the Trump administration going to be in those actions? And the Trump administration is also going to have to look at it from an even broader and more global perspective, taking into consideration the cooperation and the just the connection between Iran and what's happening with Russia, with China, and with North Korea.
So a lot of issues that are going to dominate a second Trump administration. Ari Harrow, thank you so much for your insight today.
My pleasure. Good seeing you.